Fred.
Roxanne, but I think it was you. You were standing in front of the store one day. If I don't get it together, I'll be back and put my start.
Yeah, he knows what's coming down the pipe.
But I never heard his knowledge of that. He hasn't moved off of that time when I opened it.
When he was a couple of weeks ago when he was falling down drunk, I told him the next chance that I found that he was sober, what had happened is he only drink on weekends. He knows.
Can you handle those cookies?
And I frankly would be glad when the whole thing is over. It's just, it's been going on for a year.
After he got the notice, someone, and whether it was the chief of jail or whether it was the chief that was done a superior court, he smoothed that out over here by the phone. I called legal aid and the victim defense. I don't think he was aware that the victim defense does have access to part of the file to know what's going on, or at least part of what's going on. We only heard, there were a couple of us in here, we only heard the portion of the phone conversation, but that's not the other, but basically they just take all of these and pounding all over the 2 minutes before this and that and the other. Well, I stopped that. I stopped all that. Well, what he's always sat here and said, I don't do any of those things. I didn't, I couldn't, I can't, I know how to do this. So it's he didn't do it or if he didn't stop it anyway. We knew, and several of us had told him, Brian, you got 5 days to answer that complaint. And then 2 days after that, I called the Superior Office and they told me that he did not answer it when the default had been issued.
I don't want to seem incompassionate, but this is so long you can worry about whether he's going to leave the stove on again. As a matter of fact, he probably left it on last night. And the yelling in his bathroom almost to the point of screaming, and that sort of stuff. It's just gotten to a point where the people who live downstairs here are constantly having to worry about him. The anxiety is quite high because you never know what he's going to do next.
Well, I'm hopeful that Yvette can touch bases with him today. We can give him an option and a resource. But, I know, like you said, it's been a year in the making, and we will have resolution of this issue probably within the next 2 weeks. Yep. I'll have to try to work something out with Brian to get some suggestions.
And then that's earlier than, once they evict him, then he doesn't have the legal possession of being able to live there.
No, we'll have to escort him in and out to his possession. So, that's where we're at with that. I know that there's a young lady that came by. That's the next one online for the app. And she came on a day that I was scheduled for one day to meet with her. They never showed up, and then she showed up the next day. I talked to her on the phone. I told her I couldn't show the unit because the unit was still occupied.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, well, when the unit comes available, I'm interested. And so I don't have her contact. I have no way of getting a hold of her. I don't know who she is. I don't know her name.
I can give you the information. Andrew just said that not to actually do the contact info. I have the paperwork for him. I'm going to take it to him after here.
Okay.
So until he says yes, it's all in order.
Yeah, I just want to be able to meet with her, show the unit, and then invite her to a house meeting so that the residents can do a meet and greet.
And the day after the meeting, I called Ed and I was told her. You haven't talked on the phone that day.
Yeah.
That information is fine.
So, I don't want to ask anybody to do anything that they're uncomfortable with. If that can't catch him today, I don't know if anybody has any rapport with Brian, but I would just say I'm going to try calling myself later tonight, just to try and convince him to call either.
Don't call too late because you won't be killed.
Because he had a couple of calls yesterday and the day before, and I couldn't get him to answer. He comes at the door and he slams the door and go back. Brian, you got a phone call? Wham!
Okay.
Also, I think he might have, it's either him or Charlene, took my food, I think, last week. And that's becoming a problem because I buy things and I can't just keep buying stuff because I have a limited budget. So like when I don't have my food, I have to spend money to buy more food that I just lost. So, that's kind of...
That's been brought up before.
Yeah, and
Are they perishable?
yes, I mean, I go to Safeway and I buy things, so I have a set number of meals, like 5 meals or 7 meals a week. No, nothing like that anymore. I bought linguiça and vegetables. And
Is there any way you can keep it in the fridge in your room?
I don't have a fridge in my room. And I don't want to do that. No.
You don't want to...
No, because every time I get one of those things, it's the coolant leaks, and because they're electrical, will make the room very hot.
Okay.
So you need a modern one, a much more modern one for it to be. Because my room is very small, doesn't have very good circulation. So it's not like
Get
some
you a
of
brand new one if you want.
No, I'd prefer not to have a refrigerator in my room. Also because they make noise and that kind of disturbs my sleep.
So, do you have any other ideas of what would work? Besides going...
Well, I mean, according to the house rules, you're not supposed to steal, right?
I know he'd ask you for food. Not me, but that's true. He'd ask for food, and he'd ask for food on time from somebody.
So, one time we had this conversation before. Is it true that the food that's in the cupboards and in the refrigerator is community food? Or?
No, it belongs to whoever puts there. We put stuff out on it too. Anybody wants for everybody to have access, but whatever in there in the refrigerator or the freezer belongs to
I buy
whoever.
hot dogs in the ambulance, so anybody can use those hot dog buns. I buy dogs, or if you buy hot dogs, and I tell people they need my hot dog buns or hamburger buns if they want. That's fine.
Yeah, we're all low income, but yeah, the theft from the refrigerator's been escalating a little bit. It hasn't been super high. I lost a couple of dozen eggs in that 4 weeks.
Because some places they mark the food, like at our house, if somebody doesn't want someone to take it, and I don't know if it works here, but they put their name on it.
I used to have my eggs. Someone was taking my eggs. I take my refrigerator now and buy eggs.
I think in general, like, this is supposed to be transitional housing, right? And so like a lot of the things that we're supposed to be building here or have here is that we're supposed to be independent enough to be able to take care of ourselves, the whole not a harm to yourself, not a harm to others criteria. So that might mean that we have people here who fall into the criteria of possibly not being able to live here because, they can't keep their bad behavior to themselves. And that's a problem.
Or absent-minded, it might not be bad.
So either way, I just think it shouldn't happen. And it's like if I buy stuff, what am I supposed to do? Keep the receipts, take pictures of it, and then if it's stolen, I can't call the police for, a $7 sausage or something like that.
I could do lease enforcement if we know, obviously, the right person that would be sending a violation letter to.
Yeah, I mean, the only people I've had this problem with so far are Charlene and Brian. And if it's anyone else, that's just kind of
Robert
scumbag.
on occasion was picking up stuff.
So,
I don't eat that kind of food. I don't pick either. I don't eat ham and hot dog, french fries, fried food, or chili. I'm sure that. And then
yeah.
but losing weight there. I still walk around black every day.
I will follow up with Charlene just to reiterate that she shouldn't be taking. I'm not going to accuse her of it, but I'm just going to remind her that be mindful of other people's food in the fridge. I think they'll send out a general memo to the residents just saying, hey.
Maybe another thing might suggest maybe putting a sign on the fridge, it says, please just don't take food unless it belongs to you.
Yeah.
Eat only what you purchase and stuff like that. Or is that not the
So,
turn that into a positive.
The problem with Charlene is that when you try to communicate with her, it doesn't really work. It's not like, it's not like we're having a conversation here where all the words I'm saying mean something to you and everything you're saying means something to me. It's more of like when you talk with her, you get this gibberish back about metaphors and things like that. And it's more based on her emotional need in the moment. So it depends on how she feels in the moment.
I think it would be to everybody's advantage who uses the refrigerator, freezer, cupboards to label their own food, just because it's a good thing to do. And I think that it's going to, even with Charlene, if she takes something with somebody else's name on it, she'd be less likely to consume it.
I think she would do it anyway if she just felt like it.
To some extent she would, but...
Yeah, I'm just saying, but like if to fly in formation, if you want me to do that, I can do that, but it'll probably still happen.
I mean, it's better than not trying anything at all. Yeah. I mean, it might.
Yeah, I know, but let's say it's a negative action that I'm enduring. I'm not doing anything to her. Yeah. So I'm just saying I can't do anything to her in reciprocation for this, and I can't premeditate retaliation in any way other than saying, Charlene, have you taken my food? Can you please not do that? And when I do that, she's just like, why are you accusing me of that? And gets really mad, and then it turns.
Maybe she wasn't the one who took it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I asked if it was Brian, and I don't know that. So I haven't done anything to anyone.
So what about if the initial steps were to do that? So we can make a sign. We'll make a sign that says, please enjoy your own food. I don't know. Just some nice, you can even look it up. Some really nice way of putting it in the refrigerator. And maybe bring some masking tape and have it there for marker and just write their names on it. I mean, sometimes they say that if it's incremental steps, it deters people a little bit. And it's not doing anything. Not doing anything. You're still going to get the same thing that you're getting.
I'm going to voice my opinion, and I'm going to say, that I'm disappointed that my food disappears out of the refrigerator. I'm not going to, get my hopes up and do much more than, deal with it if it happens again. But if it keeps consistently happening and, that's what am I supposed to do?
The only other thought I could think of is that, besides getting your own refrigerator fee, maybe somebody would be willing to let you borrow theirs?
No. I just think me being segregated from the refrigerator, and it's not a racial issue, and it's not like I haven't been here, not as long as anyone else. I don't have less priority than anyone else. I have a lease, I pay rent just like everyone else. For that to happen, and then me to talk with people about it in a civil manner in a group discussion, that's, and if it just keeps consistently happening, that's kind of being taken advantage of. So, and that's the thing that I don't want to go through.
I think we have two potential culprits, right?
Yeah.
One of them is on. The other will still be here, and then we'll know if it's still persisting at that point. So we can narrow our towards.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the signs. I'll speak to Charlene.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a memo myself to the residents, letting them know that please don't eat other people's food.
Yeah.
You know, it's common courtesy, respect, and all that.
If it's, you realize that it's not specifically aimed at you.
I have no problem with that. I wasn't saying. I wasn't getting emotional. I wasn't saying.
Right.
I was just saying. But for it to happen to, more than once, then I asked Brian, "Did you take my food?" He said, "No, I didn't." And I asked Charlene, "Did you take my food? Please don't." I talked to them both about it. I said, "Please don't take my food. That's my food. I need it. I eat it." So Brian got weird about it. Then Charlene got weird about it, and it's like I didn't take it any farther than that. And for me, that's just it's very frustrating because I went about 5 days without any real good food. I went to the food pantry on I think Friday. They gave me not such good food. I didn't have everything I needed to prepare much of it. So I went about 5 days without any real good nourishment. And so that kind of made me angry, and I still didn't take it out on anybody. But that's the position I'm put in. I get $95 a week for basically food and to do my laundry. So if someone takes food from me...
That's the position several of us are in.
Yeah,
if it's taken, we don't eat.
Yeah.
If I want a book, I have to give up the ham sandwich.
And that's just what I'm saying, is that like this situation, it's not that it's not good or that I'm not appreciative of this assisted living situation. And I'm not saying that I don't like the people I live with, but when that consistently happens, over and over and over again, that would mean that it's dysfunctional. It's a dysfunctional situation, and all you can do is endure it. You can't lash out on anybody, you can't get emotional, and you can't really do anything other than ignore it happening and just move on to the next thing. And for me, that's one of the few things I have that keeps me calm and happy, is being able to prepare a meal on the stove, take it up from my room, eat it, and just not have to, eat at Burger King or at the dollar food place or things like that. That's something that makes my life normal. So when the very small aspects of my life that make me feel normal are taken away or messed with, it becomes a problem. And then my issues, come up, or my triggers come up. And so it's like being put in this type of situation, and being put in situations that agitate my mental illness to a state of, I guess, where I'm not well. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of cold to put someone in a situation where they're going to be not well because of the way they're being treated.
I hear you, Armando, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that people do that, but we can't, at the same time, I feel kind of stuck because we can't force people to act according to our preferences. I mean, people are going to, like if somebody stole something.
Hold on, like you guys do though. Like if someone acts up really bad, they get 5150. So, and that's the whole thing. So you can't, it's like in the moment you're saying, we're sorry she does that. But it's like if you honestly really looked at her and the way she behaves, I'm just saying, the things I've been put through for like minor things I've done and the things that she does, often, it's kind of a drag that you're putting us through that.
That there are no standards or there are moments that we try to do this. Just find out what those standards are. They may be down here, but they're damn sure not clear down in the basement. They may not be way up here, but sometimes it seems like they're up on any.
Yeah, okay. When I mentioned my foot,
Well, I think if we take advantage of the few suggestions that have been made, I think they will help, maybe not in a large degree, but if I was sitting in the kitchen and I saw Charlene eating eggs that she was taking out of a box that had someone else's name on it, I could confront her with that. But if there's no way of knowing whose food she's eating, that's different. So I think, you know, she responds to consistent behavior on behalf of other people.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so too. Actually, like where we were, I put my name on my stuff, not so much because I mind that anybody takes my stuff. I actually tell people, you guys can help yourselves to whatever you want. And I understand the situation, but I do it more for myself, because I'll bring stuff and then I won't remember, is this what I brought?
Well, I'm just going to say
I'm just saying that maybe
I'm not mentally deficient to the point of being mentally retarded.
No,
Okay, I know that, but I'm just saying there's like mentally ill people here, and there might be, you know, one or two mentally retarded people here as well, and that's a significant difference. And that's
how it is in life too.
No, but I'm just saying, if you have someone that's mentally retarded or so immature that they can't communicate with you properly, that's a problem, you know? And that's something she should probably be in a different type of facility than here.
So let me try to put this in a bigger picture. I worked with say, one of the people we're talking about, not mentioning any names,
I know.
for a long time. And overall, with a few things about maybe that communication, she's been able to live, and like you said, with people persisting. She had other behaviors that weren't too good, and because people have been like helping her along, she's gotten better. And that's part of the community. When you try to, you know, help, we're not sure maybe what's going to make her stop this thing. But she's gotten better in a lot of ways, and it has been a good place. You know, she has a lot of really positive. Maybe not supposed to be mentioning names, but the person has a lot of really, really positive aspects and qualities.
Oh, she's changed tremendously since she's been.
So I mean, that's part of trying to be a community and live all in one place. And
I mean,
I totally get, and I got you last time too, what you're saying.
Yeah, but
so right now we're just trying to find a solution, and not to see. Because he said it in not so many words. If this doesn't work, we have to try a few things. But we hear what you're saying. We do.
I mean, like, but also, how do we petition to move from here? That's another thing I would really like, is to not have to live here. Okay, and it's not because I don't feel safe or, you know, I just, you know, in my life where I would like to possibly live alone and not have to wake up and have to deal with, you know, I mean, it's not comfortable. I can't go anywhere in the house and relax or do anything other, because you have certain people who aren't that active, and for me, it's not that I'm looking down on people, but it's just I live a different life, and I do different things. And so it's like, the way that I'm living here now is I'm discouraged from doing the things I would like to do. Okay, and so for me to try to get out of here, like, the one thing I was told is that at one point I would have to write a letter to quit my lease, open up a bank account, and then contact sub-payee about, you know, the account I just opened up, so they would shut that off and start transferring money into it. And that's what Marilyn Senf told me, and then that's what Dr. Johns told me.
Yeah. Well,
and then that fell through. So, and then it got kind of weird, and I've been here, you know, longer than I should have been from what I was told. And so it's like right now, like, it's not that I'm mad at anyone or anything like that. It's just, it's like a very redundant and I would say dysfunctional and somewhat subarticulated. Like, you know, there's like one thing being said and then something else is done. And that's kind of hypocrisy and kind of, I don't know, in a different type of role to be kind of criminal or against the law.
So what you're talking about too, we brought it up, and actually Angie brought the form again, because we brought it up at one of the meetings, and we went around the room and we asked who wants to continue here, who would like to be on the waiting list. And we actually had 3 people who said they wanted to be on the waiting list, and we left the form to be filled and to be delivered to a vet.
I know that.
And let me just finish this. So there's processes that all of us are subject to, and if we don't do due process, we can't go to the next step. Joel is now on the waiting list only because he did. I know that there was quirks about this.
Well, here's the thing. I would just like to leave the system. So I don't think I'm a criminal, am I?
No.
So I would like to know, like, why can I not just leave the system?
You want to be your own payee.
I would like to be my own payee, and I would like to relocate someplace else. You know, not have to deal with it.
Independently and not
Completely. I would just like to leave the city, county, and state and move somewhere else. Oh.
Okay, and that's something that I think that you and I can talk more about, and we can talk with you then about. You know, there's a definitely that's a whole nother process than moving than finding another tenant base.
Well, I mean, just the whole thing is like, let's say, what if I just want to move someplace else and just not have to deal with this? So, like, what would I have to do there?
Do you have a plan? Well, I think
I'm just saying, like not so much a plan, just like if I want to disengage from this and move someplace else and just live on my own.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be here next Tuesday, and you and I can talk further about that. I'll follow up with you guys, and I'll talk with you further about that.
Okay.
I hear you. Thanks for sharing.
So I talked with 3 or 4 mental health administrators and Carol Patterson, and you know, it's something that didn't happen.
Well, Marlon, you know, you've been here for a while, and you've been a pretty great resident for all the years. I don't know if you're on their waiting list, if you want to be on their waiting list, but I would feel comfortable. Because one of the caveats is going to be the standing for a year to get the TR.
I've been here 3 years though.
And you've been a good resident for 3 years.
So.
And I would promote that. But if you want to, like she's saying, she probably had to talk to you about some of the dynamics about leading the whole union system.
And all
I don't know anything about that.
how I mean, everything you're saying is really good. But also, we need to advise you to your benefit. Like, it's good that you want to do all that, but like, if there was something that you could take with you, like what he's saying, you've been a great resident. He'd give you a letter of recommendation. If there's anything else that you could take with you, that's why the idea of getting together with different people to make a good strategy, a good plan that would work down the road. So you leverage everything you've done well for the past 3 or 5 years. That's what we're talking about.
You got your certificate?
No, that was supposed to happen 1 year ago. So I think, like, no, not 1 year, 2 years ago. So it's supposed to happen 2 years ago, and we're on year 3.
Yeah, so after the year, you get put on the list.
No, they don't get put on. They have to request to be on the list. They have to fill, and we went over this one time before. They have to request it, and they have to fill this form out and sign it, and then the case manager and the team person, the case manager signs it, the team supervisor signs it, and then I give it to Andrew, and then they're on the list. But on this form, they're going to say, I do not owe any money for back rent or damages. I have kept my unit in clean and sanitary condition and have otherwise abided by the terms of my lease. I have stable source of income. I have been meeting regularly with my case manager and following the recovery care plan. So if it's check, you have a lot of really good things on your
So all those things were breached on their end and not mine.
So like I said, this is something that we can discuss.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that would be the whole thing. Is that we have to discuss this in a much different way then. So we have to discuss it in a much different way then. That's what I said.
In a much different way.
Yeah, I'm just that's what I was saying, not here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
So either, I mean, I could come here next Tuesday, or next time you come into the clinic, you can talk with Yvette or I.
No problem. Okay.
Which would you prefer?
Either one.
Okay.
Oh.
Unless I see you at the clinic, I'll plan on coming on Tuesday
No problem.
for our appointment that we scheduled. We can talk further. Does that sound okay?
Sounds fine.
Okay.
I have one more question. So Sarah's back, and she just went by, and I just wanted to, put a gauge on that. Everything good here?
Pretty much.
Because like I said, it's better for us to know early on.
Pretty much.
Than
One or two nights after she was first back, there was some commotion in the downstairs hall, but it was well before 10 o'clock, and I was awake, so I didn't say anything about it or what. I've never seen anything
I
like
think
that.
living room,
But it's been quiet.
Now,
Now,
like, I'm still,
there hasn't been any of
Go
that.
outside, like, mine. It's balcony.
No, it's been quiet.
So it's time to go to that, but that's locked. That's okay, that's not too late, but I don't, doesn't bother me as long as it's not late at night. Time to go.
And I only ask because I think it's a lot, as a group, it's good for us to talk and be clear to nip things early than to let things.
For however long I am here, and I don't know how long that's going to be, I don't want a situation like this to develop where it's easier to resolve. Because it won't be tolerated the next one.
Is there any other house issues we need to discuss?
And I try and set even very decent in the state, which I have to work up every day. Skills, just purely skills, and Borous.
Yeah, there's one more issue that a number of these things that go from the deck to the rail have been knocked loose and are in some cases broken or even missing. I have nothing to do with that. It was that way before I got my wheelchair.
I'll do a quick one.
Rob's still leaving a card out here too, and won't take it. Basketball, they never come pick it up yesterday, so I'm supposed to be around the corner. He needs to put the basket out there, so someone like him can trip on him when he goes out the door.
This is Robert.
Yeah, Robert leaves a basket cart from Burton Bowl. When he brings his groceries home, he don't carry them. He puts them in the cart, moves the car all the way over, just leaves it there on the sidewalk so someone can pick it going down the steps.
That's Robert Kastner.
Yeah, that's all the time.
And does he take it back to?
No, he just leaves it here.
A couple of us have ratted them out, but that's another matter.
We've
They say it's not my priority. When they get around to please, they
They
have to
called
take
her,
it
he
home.
go yesterday, come get her, but he never came and got her. They called her. He was phoning her on the basket, so I saw her out in front of the driveway, morning, 7 o'clock. They were already got a pole out here on the sidewalk, the guy took a pole down the bushes, just my pole. And I told him to put a shore on it, 7 o'clock morning, so I said, look at the cut his groceries.
I have an appointment with him next week, so I'll talk to him about that.
Okay, guys, I have to go. I have to adjourn the meeting.
So you want me to do that day for the conference?
Two reflectors. I'm going to how many took the card?
fuck is the problem? That hurts so bad. That's CMF. Captain of the ship. CCP-692. Looks like they're holding kids hostage.